I came to the US in 2014 as a F-1 international student. It's been almost more than 10 years. And over those years, I have struggled a lot. I've doubted myself. There's so many days where I felt like I was lost, and I always ask myself, what's my future gonna be like? I'm gonna share all the lessons I have learned over the past few years, and hopefully you can implement them in your life. So let's get started. The first topic I'm gonna cover is growth mindset. When I came to the US, I had a culture shock. It was very difficult for me to adapt at the first few years. I was lost. I didn't know what I'm going to pursue in my life. There was a lot of confusion in me, in myself, and I had a very fixed mindset. I remember back when I started my college, I was very negative minded. For example, there was one time I went to a scholarship office, and I wanted to apply for a scholarship. But the moment I entered the office, right, that moment right away, I was like, you know what? I'm not good enough. I'll not even apply for the scholarship. I had a very fixed mindset back then, but if you really want to grow in life, you need to have a growth mindset. And there's a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. It's an amazing book. This is one of my favorite books of 2024. And I always remember this phrase from this book, Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. I read that book back in 2016. And in the book, it talks about focus on the solution, not on the problem. All these times in my early 2014 to 2018, I was in a phase where every time there was a problem, I was just focusing on the problem. I never focused on the solution. It's like, okay, if this is not working, what's the solution for it, right? But in my mind, I was always focused on the problem. Whenever there's a doubt, a problem you have, ask yourself, okay, what can I do to fix this? Always focus on the solution. That's the key. And number two is step out of a comfort zone. When I came to the US, I was very shy. I lacked confidence in myself, but I realized that in order to really step up in my life, I really have to step out of my comfort zone. I have to do the things which is going to make me uncomfortable. During 2014, 2015, I started my photography business, and that led me to go out, mix with people, take photographs of them. That really made me step out of my comfort zone. And step by step, I got out of that shyness. I got more confident, and confidence is something, it doesn't happen instantly. It takes time. It's repetition after repetition. Remember one thing, when you're growing as a person, it's gonna make you feel uncomfortable because you're not used to it. And growth happens when you say yes before you think you're ready. Know that. That's very important. Whenever there's opportunities, you gotta say yes. I also would like to add a point that being too comfortable keeps you average. For example, talking to the camera and making long form videos, it's not easy to me. If you asked me 6 years back that I would be recording this video and uploading it into the internet or YouTube, I wouldn't believe that, because back then I had a very fixed mindset and I would never thought, okay, I'm gonna do this in the next 5 years. But right now in this stage of my life, making me feel very uncomfortable. Talking to the camera alone in my room, it just feels very uncomfortable to me, but at the same time, I know that my heart tells me to document these videos, and I'm doing this. And at the same time, it's also making me step out of my comfort zone. So no matter where you are in life, at the end of the day, if you want to do something, just start and don't wait. Put some effort, and the most important thing is you have to enjoy the process more than the outcome. Number three is health. For me, health is wealth. If you ask me what's my top three goals, first goal is always gonna be health. You can't take that out from me. I started working on it back in 2015, 2016, and It's been almost 6 years. I've been very consistent working out. When I work out, I feel like a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, just it just goes away, and I feel so much more relaxed, and I feel emotionally and mentally very aligned when I work out. Right now, if you're in a stage where you don't work out, I would recommend you to join a gym nearby and hit the gym once or twice a week. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to hit the gym 5 or 6 days. Start slowly and then gradually increase over time. But when I look back 6, 7 years back, I was just working and going to school. That was something I was doing back and forth, and health was not something I really put my focus on. The best thing about working out is you're working on yourself. That's the best feeling. And you need to make time for it. You need to find some time. Even if you don't enjoy working out, go for a run, go for a walk. Do something with movement, because that's gonna really make you feel healthier. And remember, if your health goes down, everything else is gonna slow down. Always prioritize your health first, then other things. And number 4 is reading books. It's probably one of the best investment I have done from 2016. Things changed completely. I read the book The Secret in 2016, and my second book was Awaken the Giant Within, and the third book was The 7 Effects of Highly Effective People. Those are the books which I started like at first back in 2016, and that was the foundation for me where I am today. And over the last few years, I have made a commitment to read 2 to 3 books every month. And last year I have slacked in that, but this year I'm trying to get back into making more time to read books. But I feel like every time I read something, it tells me I wish I read this more earlier. And I think it's one of the best investment you can ever make. If you read a book, it just gonna give you so many different skill set, knowledge, clarity, direction about life. I have read a lot of self-help books over the past few years, and just amazing how much you can grow as a person just by reading and implementing those knowledge from books. It's just an amazing feeling. And if you need any recommendation from any topics, please write in the comment section, and I'm gonna reply to you with a specific book. And number 5 is networking. In today's world, it's the people you know. There is this quote, you're the average of 5 people you surround yourself with. And I truly resonate with that. When I got into my creative business, I was working for this fitness gym. It was called Performance House. And in the gym, the membership was $1,000 per month. A lot of top class people were working out at the gym. In that gym in 2018, I was making content for the gym, right? It made me realize the importance of networking, the importance of surrounding yourself with quality individuals, with quality people. You're gonna learn so much from them. I always tell myself to put myself in an environment where I'm the least smartest, because I wanna be in rooms where I learn from other people, because growth is a continuous process. And you have to keep learning and keep growing. The most important thing I would say you to is whenever you meet people, always try to give value first and be very genuine. Important for you to network with intention, not just to go to a random place and just make friends with everyone. Yeah, that helps, but at the end of the day, I feel like with true intention, you can build long-term relationship. Number 6 is environment. You are the product of your environment. And I came to New York in 2014. At first when I came here, I was living in Queens, and I always wanted to live in the city, in Manhattan. And during COVID, that's when I moved here, and it just made me realize the importance of being in the right environment. When I came to the city, I put myself in right places. For example, I invested in a good gym. And it's funny because when I came here to the US, I was going to Planet Fitness and I was paying around $15 per month, I guess, for membership. And it was during 2016 in my college. I had a friend, I met this girl and I asked her, where do you work out at? And she told me she was going to Equinox and she was paying $250 per month for membership. And I was like, she's so stupid. Like, why you pay so much amount of money just to go for a gym? And I was paying around $150 for the entire year. But when I came to the city, I joined Equinox and I realized the importance of putting yourself in the right environment and also the right people. The environment is gonna push you, it's gonna make you feel different. 2014 Pranto was shy, not confident, lacked belief in himself. And right now, the Pranto I am right now have acquired a lot of skills over the years. It's because I had to step out my comfort zone. I put myself in the right environment. I met with right people and I took risk. Most importantly, first you have to really love yourself and believe yourself first. That's the most important thing. If you don't do that, no matter whichever environment you put yourself in, you'll still feel like there is a lack. Going back to the gym topic, in the gym I met my mentor. When I met my mentor at the gym, I asked him if we could get a workout in. And we worked out, we spoke about life, our values, and I asked him if he is willing to provide mentorship to me. And that was one of the best things that happened last year. And it's been almost 12 months. I'm getting mentored with him every Wednesday at 6 p.m. and it's such a great feeling, you know. So sometimes in life you just need 2 or 3 great people, great individuals who can really excel your life at a different level. So put yourself in the right environment. Sometimes you can also just send a message on LinkedIn or Instagram. If someone you admire, hey, like, are you free? Let's get a coffee. And also I would like to say that your environment decides your future. It's gonna tell who you're gonna be in the next few years. Because everything takes time. It happens gradually, right? You cannot just go from 0 to 10 like one step. It's one step at a time. So no matter whichever stage you're in your life, you're gonna get there. It's just gonna take some time, effort, discipline, consistency, and the right environment, and you'll get there. And number 7 is to invest in yourself. No matter whichever stage you're in life, always invest in yourself. Read books, hit the gym, get that course, get that mentorship. That's number 1 priority. Skills is always gonna be more than your degree, remember that. I always wanna be in a place where every year I'm growing as a person. And for me, it requires me to learn new things. For example, in my creative business, right now I'm learning how to use AI to my editing. That takes time and effort. And back, I had a very fixed mindset about using AI. And I thought like, I'm not gonna use AI on my edits. It just doesn't look too realistic, but I had to have a growth mindset and be like, you know what, this is a new skill and I need to adapt. Because every year, every season, we have to adapt to the new environment. And for that, you have to be open-minded, have a growth mindset, and really learn the skills, put in the work, and grow as a person. When I look back, one of the best investment I made was to bet on myself. It was to really believe in myself and to put in the work and effort, which made me who I am today. And for that, it requires dedication. You just cannot show up one day and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, and then when tomorrow comes, you don't do it. It doesn't happen overnight. You need to show up every single day, and you really need to look in the mirror and ask yourself why you are doing this. That's number 1. That's the first question you ask. Because the why has to be strong enough for you to commit and for you to take action. And number 8 is start saving. When I say start saving means to live below your means. For example, if you make $10,000 a month, you track your expenses, your savings, and your investments. When I was back in my college, I was working really hard to pay my tuition fees, and anytime I had money saved, it would probably go on my tuition fees or my rent, things like that. But you have to start saving and to start investing, because the sooner you start, the better it is. You need to have a plan where you know that if anything happens to you 3 or 6 months down the line, you have emergency fund to help you in the long run. You need to have a system. You know what, if when money is coming into me, what am I gonna do with my money? You just cannot spend money recklessly, and when the end of the month comes, you're like, okay, oh no, like I need to get some loans, things like that. It was really stress to me when it came to finances, because coming to the US as a F-1 student, it's really challenging sometimes, because it's a lot of tuition fees. I paid around $9,000 to $10,000 per semester. It was tough because it's a lot of money at the end of the day, but also it's an investment in yourself and your education. I'm not telling you to save all your money. Go out there, have fun, but have a mindset of saving money. True wealth is built on savings, remember that. It's how much you save. So you need to start having that mindset of saving early, because when you turn 30, when you turn 40, that savings, when you save and you start investing, that's gonna pay big times. Number 9 is to believe in yourself. I know it's very cheesy, but being very honest with you, during 2015, I was so depressed and I was at my lowest point in my life, where I felt like I want to go back home and the USA was not for me. No friends, very lonely, and it was very challenging to me. But back then I had a camera in my hand, and that camera was like a lifeline to me, and something told me to pursue that, to go out and capture pictures, just do it for fun. And that kept me going. So for you, there is something in yourself. You have to ask, what is that thing? For me, it was that camera, and that gave me hope, also gave me joy. It was during those moments where I told myself, you know what, I really have to believe in myself and do the work. That's why I say, really believe in yourself, because it's your life and we only have one life. Remember, we all will die one day at the end of the day. If you want to be somewhere in life, you really need to feel that. You really need to believe that you can make that happen. The moment you feel that, then only things are gonna start coming to you. When I got into the creative business, I told everyone I'm a photographer. Although I wasn't. Subconsciously, it told me that, you know what, I'm a photographer. I can go out there, I can take pictures of people, and I'm really good at it. I just kept going, and I didn't have any intention to make money or anything like that. I just knew that I enjoyed doing it, and I just went for it, and I didn't look back. So the most important thing is have a really strong belief, and always ask yourself why you want to pursue this. Right now, if your goal is only to make $1 million, I promise you, if you make $1 million, you'll still not feel satisfied within, because money itself is not gonna make you happy. And number 10 is to document my journey. I wish I took the time to film myself, to document myself more in my early days when I came to the US, because if I look back at it right now, I'm in a very different stage, and 5 years from now on, I'm gonna be at a different stage too. That's why I'm recording myself more. I'm recording my journey. I feel like life should be fun. It should be about creating. It should be about capturing those moments in life, when you look back, you feel happy about it, even during those difficult days, that's life too, because life is not about being happy 24/7. It's about having good days, having bad days, but no matter what days you're going through, you have to show up and you have to love yourself. And remember, everyone in life is going through something. That's the beauty of life. And the more we share with other human beings, the more connected we feel. And that is one of the main reasons I'm making this video, so that people can connect with me, can relate with my story, and they can feel deeply connected, and they can genuinely feel like there was a person out there 10 years ago who had nothing, who was lost. Now he's making these videos to help someone else. And if no one has told to you about this yet, I'm proud of you. Keep showing up, keep doing the work. I promise you, things gonna work out. I always tell myself one thing: everything happens for a good reason. No matter what happens in life, always try to think positive and take actions, because action speaks louder than words. That's all for today. Like the video if you found this helpful, and please subscribe to the channel if you want more real conversation like this. And lastly, comment where you are watching from. I'll see you guys in the next one.